Okay, now we come to the outline of the book of Numbers, the fourth book of the Bible. And right from the start, chapter 1, God has Moses take a census, a number, how many warriors, soldiers that each tribe will be able to contribute, and then the total amount for when they get to the promised land, and then they have to go in and conquer the promised land. And so we see that the tribe of Zebulun has 46,500 people. Simeon mustered up 59,300 soldiers. Gad came up with 45,650 warriors. The tribe of Judah had 74,600. Ishkatar had 54,400 soldiers ready to go. Zebulon had 57,400 soldiers ready to fight. Ephraim at 40,500. The tribe of Manasseh came up with 32,200, and the tribe of Benjamin 35,400. Tribe of Dan mustered up 62,700 warriors. Tribe of Asher had 41,500 warriors, and Naphtali had 53,400 for a total of 603,550 soldiers ready to go in and conquer the promised land. Chapter 2 talks about the arrangement of the camps. Now, the book of Numbers is, of course, still talking about the time of the Exodus. And when they would camp, they would set up the tabernacle. And then there were specific places for the different tribes to camp at. North of the tabernacle, the tribes of Dan, Asher, and Naphtali would set up their camps, their tents. The south of the tabernacle, the tribes of Reuben, Simeon, and Gad set up their tents. And east of the tabernacle, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulon, that's where they camped. And west of the tabernacle was Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. Chapter 3 deals with the Levitical priesthood from the tribe of Levi. And, of course, it goes on to the duties of the priests. Chapter 4, the duty of the Kohathites and the duty of the Merarites. Chapter 5 talks about defilement, a bad thing. Chapter 6 is the law of the Nazarites. Chapter 7 deals with the offerings of the leaders. Chapter 8 talks about the 7 lamps. 9 is about the Passover. Chapter 10 tells us about chapter 10 tells us about the silver trumpets. Chapter 11 is when the people complain. And chapter 12 are the murmurings of Miriam and Aaron. Miriam and Aaron are Moses' brother and sister. They get to chapter 13. This is when they get to the promised land, and they send in the spies to check out the land. And of course, they got 12 spies go in, and they go up and down the land. They come back, and only Caleb and Joshua say, "Yeah, let's go. We can take it. We can conquer this land." The other 10 said, "No, no, no, no. These people are way too big. There's too many of them. We can't do it." And the people believe the 10. And chapter 14 tells us about the people rebelling, about going into the land. Read chapter 15, we see the laws for Canaan. 16 is Korah's rebellion. Chapter 17, we see where Aaron's rod buds. And 18 is the duty of the Levites, the duties of them. More about those. 19 is the ordinance of the red heifer. 20, we see the death of Miriam, Moses' sister. 21 talks about a place called Arad that's conquered by the Israelites. 22 is Balak sins for Balaam. This is an interesting story. 22, the prophecies of Balaam. 24 is the prophecy from Peor, and 25 is the sin of Peor. 26 is the census of a new generation. How many people had actually going to go into the promised land? Chapter 27 talks about the law of inheritance, and chapter 28, the laws for the offerings. 29 are about the offerings on the 7th month, and chapter 30 talks about the law of vows. 31 is about the slaughter of Midian. 32, we see Reuben and Gad settle in Gilead, which would be the east of the Jordan. And chapter 33 is a review of the journey from Egypt to the Jordan. Chapter 34 is instructions for apportioning the land of Canaan. And 35 talks about cities for the Levites. And chapter 36 talks about inheritance by marriage. And that brings us to the end of the book of Deuteronomy and the outline of that book. Next we'll be looking at the book of Deuteronomy.